everyone, I'm back with episode 2 of History of Gaming. Today's episode is about one of my all-time favorite consoles, the Sega Dreamcast. There was so much to love about this console, starting with the look. The Master System, Genesis, CD, 32X, and Saturn were all black consoles. Sega went with this sleek white look, almost as if they were trying to get people to forget their last console that was widely panned as being quite awful, the Sega Saturn. But that disaster is a story for another episode. The Sega Dreamcast broke ground in many ways with this console. In some ways, it was ahead of its time, but it was also missing some key features. Enough so that it not only sank the console, but it sank Sega as a console maker. But let's start at the beginning first and check out the somewhat confusing ad Sega used to try and get us interested in Dreamcast release.
This is the day you have trained for, the day you have studied for. Utilize your superior skills, your superior intelligence.
Sit down, rodent!
Sarah, baby! Oh, you were one fly!
Don't make me hurt you.
Learn to defeat your ruthless enemy, Steve of Hackensack.
Ryan, you're gonna get roofed.
Shut up, quadruped.
Sega Dreamcast. It's thinking.
It's thinking. That was the tagline. Sega was attempting to revolutionize the industry, and in some ways, they did. September 9th, 1999 in North America. 9/9/99. They started off right by having one of the best release dates ever. That's gotta count for something, right? Luckily, that wasn't the high point. You see, Sega was the first console to ever include the ability to connect to the internet. Yes, you could surf the internet on your Dreamcast as long as you had an internet connection through a landline telephone, which makes connecting to the Dreamcast challenging in 2025. Challenging, but not impossible.
Watch this. I've got a plan. I can beat this thing.
X.
Why?
Think out loud in my curious
It's thinking.
Sega had a lot of games you could play online. It started with Choo Choo Rocket, a puzzler that you can still log on and play today. You can still play most of the 2K sports titles, starting with the 01s, racing games like Daytona USA 2001, and a massive multiplayer game that had players taking turns with attacks, and one I spent way too much time on, Worms World Party.
Fatality! It's coming! Goes on!
Online play wasn't Sega's only feature. We need to talk about the video memory unit.
Here is the video memory unit. You just slide it right into the top of your Dreamcast controller. It instantly connects. As you can see, I'm playing Shenmue right now. When the time comes to save, it will tell you it's saving, as you can see here, and it will tell you when it's done. A great invention.
Shenmue is probably one of the best games the Dreamcast released. One of the first ever open world adventure games. You could do anything and go anywhere in Shenmue. I can't wait to play Shenmue tonight.
By the look of those arms, you look like you can hold your own in a fight. I'll tell you what you want to know, if you'll join our gang.
All right.
If you...
That's enough.
Huh?
The Dreamcast had a lot of unique games you couldn't get elsewhere. You can't forget Crazy Taxi, an arcade staple, on your TV screen at home. Or how about Seaman, where you played as a fish with a human face.
I may not look so hot to you, but you should see yourselves through my eyes. Creepy. My name is Seaman. You don't know me, but you will. Some say my amphibious nature makes me seem odd. That's because I'm part fish. I must be cold, insensitive, and creepy. I beg to differ. You may not think I'm attractive, but your wife will. Grrr.
Let's bring in Statboy. Statboy, let's keep the conversation going about games. What were the highest selling games made on the Sega Dreamcast? Hi Fran! Did you know Sega released the Dreamcast in Japan in November of 1998? They wanted to test the waters before sending it to North America because of how poorly the Sega Saturn did. Maybe you should do a future episode about the Saturn. Yes, I will definitely make a future episode about the failure of the Sega Saturn, but let's stick with the subject, Statboy. What Sega Dreamcast games were the 5 best-selling games? Bram, you were right about the Dreamcast having great games. My favorite Dreamcast game was Sega Bass Fishing. Look at this fishing rod controller. It was so much fun. I would often come home from school, grab a tall, cold glass of milk, heat up a couple pizza pops, set up shop on the sofa, and cruise down the river on my boat catching some fish. Sega Bass Fishing was indeed a lot of fun, but can we stay on topic, please? Statboy, what were the 5 best-selling games on the Sega Dreamcast? Well, I'm sorry, Fran. I just didn't want to have to break it to you that Crazy Taxi was only at number 6. At number 5 was NFL 2K with 1.13 million copies sold. Above that was Resident Evil Code Veronica at 1.14 million. So close. At number 3 is Shenmue at 1.2 million, while Soul Calibur had a little over 1.3 million. But far and away, at number 1 is Sonic Adventure with 2.5 million copies sold. Back to you, Frank. Unfortunately, for you Uncle Fran fans out there, he never made a video for me about the Dreamcast, but in one of his many Y2K videos where he rants for hours, there's a short part where he mentions the Dreamcast. Let's check out that clip. Oh, I think I left this thing on from when I was recording about Y2K. Well, whoever watches this in the future, You make sure if you want to play some good video games, you get yourself a Sega Dreamcast. Then you get yourself some of these burnable CDs. You go get some Napster. Download whatever games you want to play with Napster. Go find something else to do while they're downloading. Burn them onto some burnable CDs. Then plug those right into your Sega Dreamcast. You could play any game. And that was the final nail in the coffin for Sega! You see, in 1999, there was no Apple Music or Spotify. People consumed music by buying CDs, watching MTV if you were in the US, or Much Music in Canada, and listening to the radio. Napster was the first online source to make downloading music, television, movies, and games a thing. And it was free! Sure, it was likely illegal to do so, but damn near everyone relatively young was doing it. And gamers figured out they could burn games and play them for free on the Dreamcast. That financial hit was massive for Sega.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling the love. You feel the love. But what's your name? Gary Payton, but they call me the glove. How you feeling tonight? Yo, I'm feeling the love. Feel the love, glove. I'm feeling Sonic. Yo, Sonic. Man, stay off the light speed.
My bad.
Sonic Adventure on Sega Dreamcast.
Was the first of the 6th generation of video game consoles, and it was out well before the others were ready. Sony's sequel to their popular PlayStation, the aptly named PlayStation 2, was still 6 months away from coming out. Nintendo was still 2 years away from releasing the GameCube, and Microsoft would release their original Xbox just 3 days before the GameCube. But that dual release is also a story for another episode. You see, a lot of people will tell you that the Sega Dreamcast was a failure because it ended Sega as a console maker. But I have to disagree. Yes, Sega stopped making consoles, but the Dreamcast introduced features, game concepts, and even series that are still around today. The Sega Dreamcast was not a failure. It was a trailblazer. I showed a lot of games in this episode, but on stream tonight I will be playing Shenmue and Sega Bass Fishing. But up first is my all-time favorite Sega Dreamcast game, and one of my top 10 games on any console ever. It's Crazy Taxi. Let's check out an ad.
Dreamcast, it's thinking. Game rated T for teen.
Yeah, I'm here for my license.
Get behind that yellow line!
Yeah, I know. License, please.
You better get out of my face! You ain't gonna get your pump license
Yeah,
back!
I
Look what
know.
I got on you! You drive through the mall, the subway, city bar, you might have done
That was some big air.
What's your problem?
Hey, that's what I get paid for. I made some serious cake that day.
Crazy Taxi on Sega Dreamcast.